Hey there, welcome to my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell, and you're in my kitchen. Prego. Fall baking, the holidays, and sugar cookie. It's almost impossible to make it through an entire season without making at least one batch of sugar cookie. And royal icing. How about one without egg white? I'm gonna show you both recipes, plus the most perfect gluten-free version that I happened upon by mistake. This cookie, this sugar cookie, is absolutely perfect to me. It's soft, still holds its structure, sweet, it's absolutely perfect. And I know a lot of times it's just about the toppings that go on top, but if you nail the sugar cookie on the bottom, that is a win. This royal icing contains absolutely no egg white, but yet it's still hard, and it's easy for me to modify it, color it, and make some fantastic cookies. So I'm gonna show you all those recipes now, but first, I'm trying not to talk with my mouth full, but let's proceed. You're gonna need 3 sticks or 340 grams of room temperature unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of softened cream cheese, and 300 grams of granulated sugar. So what I've done is I've already whipped that up. Let me show you this. And I've done it for about 5 minutes, so it's giving me this really creamy, it's almost like a frosting. See that? And this is what's getting it started. And the cream cheese is one of the unique ingredients in this recipe that really make it fantastic. Oh, and by the way, do you guys have this attachment? You don't have to scrape the sides anymore. It does it for you. It's my new favorite attachment from KitchenAid. All right, back to the recipe. So I've already creamed that up. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna need a total of 3 eggs, but 1 whole egg and 2 egg yolks. Man, the cookie's so good. I want another bite. Here's another tip for you. Don't crack the egg on the side of the bowl. Just give it a slight tap on the counter. And let's see, let's go for the yolks first. And then I have a little dent, and that is where I'm gonna press. And I'm just going for 2 egg yolks. I don't know about you guys. So I usually start making sugar cookies around Thanksgiving. Have it with family and you just have a lot of fun just doing all the different decorations, and it's great. And then around Christmas time, of course, I have been giving away these little boxes full of all kinds of cookies for years, for decades, actually. And I love to do that. I love to give food. When do you guys start making sugar cookies? Valentine's Day? All right, there's my eggs. Nothing wrong with that. So I also need vanilla and almond extract. So I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna put it in here because I'm gonna put it in there. And a lot of times I'll get this prepped so it's all ready for me just to dump it in. All right, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. The special ingredients really are the almond, the cream cheese, and the cream of tartar, which we'll get to. So I'm gonna add the eggs and the extracts in here, and I'm just gonna turn this on just to incorporate these, just a little. It already smells so good. All right, our flour. So I am going to add, first of all, I'm just gonna add a teaspoon of kosher salt to here. I don't need it to go through the sifter. And I am gonna pre-sift in order to make it really, really smooth. I'm gonna add 370 grams of flour. Ooh, but wait, let me show you the gluten-free version. This is the part I happened upon by mistake. So in the regular recipe, you're gonna use regular AP or all-purpose flour, but for the gluten-free, I suggest you use cup for cup. Reason why all these gluten-free flours are not the same. They're literally created differently. And it's about the different types of natural gluten-free flours. So blend of rice flours, corn, buckwheat, etc. And then a binder and maybe some special ingredients. This has non-fat milk and cornstarch, which added and gave great structure to the cookie so it didn't spread, which is another great thing. So You don't necessarily have to just go for cup. You can stick with one flour, like for example, better batter, which is another one of my favorite. And you can just, can you see that? And you can just modify it. So sometimes I'll just get the better batter and then I'll modify it. And I'm gonna put all this in the description with a little bit of non-fat dry milk and cornstarch. And now I have my mock cup for cup. Okay, let's go. We have our flour, which is about 3.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And again, this is gonna help with the structure. And 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is something also that helps with structure and rise. I use this in my gluten-free breads as well. Kind of like my little secret ingredient, usually much less obviously. But for this recipe, 2 teaspoons or 7 grams. Okay, so we have all this and we just sift all this together. And then we're going to add it to our batter. Pretty easy. Doesn't take long at all. You know, I'm not the greatest decorator. My friend Brittany is. Leave it up to her. She makes beautiful cookies. I can frost them, kinda. I can add eyes. I love to do that. That's really easy. And that's all kids kind of want anyhow. I'd rather leave that up to the kids. I'll do the cleanup. I'll make the cookie. Okay. So for example, speaking of eyes, here's my little snowman, and I put a mustache on him as well. Yum. Okay, so I'm gonna slowly incorporate the flour just so it doesn't, so it doesn't make a big dust ball. Still might. I'm gonna let it run it a little bit. I don't want to run it too long because I don't want the dough to get really dense or too tough. That's it. It's good to go. So my dough, I am going to flatten it out onto a disc, wrap it in plastic wrap, and put it in the refrigerator for a few hours or up to like 4 or 5 days. You don't have to make it right away. So that is what I've done on this one. And you want to take it out and you can let it sit for a couple minutes until it softens a little bit, but I like to use it right when it's cold. I'm going to show you just a couple of little tricks that I use to reduce the cleanup. First of all, I use the parchment paper and I lay that down, and then I go ahead and put my extra flour. I dust it with flour. I put my dough down and then I lay another piece of parchment paper, excuse me, and I make a couple dents in the dough going down. Keep going down and pushing it, and then I go to roll it. And you want to roll it out to 1/4 inch thick, and put that on a cookie sheet and put it in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes before you throw in the oven at 350 degrees or 180 degrees Celsius. Have you ever had a sugar cookie or any cookie that gets stuck and you're trying to lift it up and you're unable to? One of the little tricks I do is I'll just cut out around the parchment paper and stick that on there. It's a little easier. Okay, so this royal icing, let me just show you. So the royal icing is kind of cool because you can make this up to a month in advance. And I've made it thick so I can modify it just to make it so it can be more like a glaze or just kind of run down by just adding more water. And I have these little containers. Here's all my colors. And again, these can last up to a month in the refrigerator. And I have them, as you can see, it's a little runny, right? Perfect. It makes it easy for decorating the cakes. So this royal icing recipe, all it is 4 cups or 500 grams of powdered sugar, about, let's see, 5, 10, 12, about 3/4 a cup of water, but start with like a half and then just keep adding, and 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. And this is what makes it special. And you can get this on Amazon or you can get it at some of the specialty stores. To flavor it, you want to keep it white. you can get a clear vanilla if you care about that. If you don't, doesn't matter. But again, this is great, so I can just have it in there. My sugar cookies are done 5 days before, and it's absolutely perfect. I get to get back to eating my sugar cookie. Thank you for joining me. Happy holidays. Please like and subscribe. Bye, guys.